Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm excited to be here today to talk about how to write a CV. This is a crucial skill for anyone looking to stand out in the job market. In this presentation, we'll cover the key elements of creating an effective CV, from layout to content. So let's get started and make your CV shine. Today, we'll start with an overview of what we'll cover in this session, beginning with the introduction to our topic. Then, we'll dive into what to include in a CV, which is a crucial step in showcasing your skills and experience effectively. Next, we'll discuss how to choose the right type of CV for your situation, as this can make a significant difference in how your application is perceived. We'll explore the chronological CV, which highlights your work history in order, and then look at the skills-based or functional CV, which focuses more on your abilities and competencies. Understanding these options will help you tailor your CV to best highlight your strengths and align with the job you're targeting. Throughout this presentation, we'll see how selecting the right format and including the right information can boost your chances of standing out to potential employers. Let's talk about what a CV is. A CV, or curriculum vitae, is essentially a brief summary of your education, qualifications, skills, and work experience. It's mainly used when you're applying for a job. Think of it as your first chance to tell an employer what you can bring to the table. A well-crafted CV can really make a difference. It might be the deciding factor between getting called for an interview or not being considered at all. So, it's important to put effort into making it clear, concise, and tailored to the role you're aiming for. Remember, your CV is your first impression, so it needs to showcase your strengths effectively. Keep this in mind as we move forward, because understanding how to present yourself well on paper is a key part of the overall job application process. When it comes to creating a strong CV, there are a few key principles to keep in mind. First, it should be factual and accurate, reflecting your true skills and experiences. Honesty is always the best approach because employers value integrity. Next, your CV needs to be targeted to the specific job you're applying for. That means highlighting the most relevant experience and skills that match the role. It's also important to keep your CV concise, ideally no more than 2 pages or a couple of sides of A4. This helps ensure that the reader stays engaged and can quickly grasp your qualifications. Remember, your CV is more than just a list of jobs. It's a way to convey what you'd be like as an employee. Show your personality and professionalism through how you present your information. Finally, make sure your CV is easy to read, engaging, and has a professional look. A clean, well-organized layout makes a big difference. When all these elements come together, your CV not only provides facts but also creates a positive impression, helping you stand out in a competitive job market. So let's talk about what to include in a CV. This is a really important part of your job application because it's your chance to showcase what makes you the right fit for the role. First, your contact information should be clear and easy to find at the top. Make sure to include your full name, phone number, email, and LinkedIn profile if you have one. Next, your professional summary or objective is a great way to give a quick snapshot of who you are and what you're looking for. Then, your work experience is crucial. List your most relevant jobs in reverse chronological order, highlighting your responsibilities and achievements. Be specific about what you did and how it benefited your employer. Following that, your education section should include your degrees, institutions, and graduation dates. If you have certifications or additional training relevant to the role, include those too. Remember, skills are also vital, both hard skills like software proficiency and soft skills like teamwork or communication. These help paint a full picture of your capabilities. Finally, if you have any additional sections like awards, publications, or volunteer work, include those to add depth to your profile. Connecting all these points to the overall theme, a well-structured CV effectively tells your professional story and highlights your fit for the position. It's about making it easy for hiring managers to see your value at a glance. Let's start with your contact details. Make sure to include your mobile phone number, the first part of your postcode or your town or city, just enough for potential employers to find you, and your email address. If you have a LinkedIn profile, don't forget to include the URL as it's a great way for employers to see more about your professional background. Next, think about your education and qualifications. This could be your school, college, university, or any vocational training you've completed. Highlight the most relevant certifications or courses that relate to the job you're aiming for. Then talk about your work experience. Whether paid or unpaid, focus on the responsibilities you had and the achievements you gained in each role. This helps show employers what you bring to the table and how you've contributed in past positions. Don't forget to mention your key skills. These could be transferable skills like communication, teamwork, or problem solving, which are valuable across many industries. Also, include any additional relevant skills, such as language abilities or specific IT skills, that can make you stand out. Finally, I recommend adding a short personal profile. This is a quick paragraph that summarizes your key strengths and career goals. It's an opportunity to catch the employer's eye and give them a quick snapshot of who you are and what you're looking for. All these elements together create a compelling overview that connects your background to your career ambitions and shows why you're the right candidate. When it comes to your CV, it's important to focus on what truly matters to potential employers. You don't need to include details like your age, marital status, or health status, as these are personal and often irrelevant to your professional capabilities. Similarly, your nationality is generally not necessary unless it's specifically relevant to the role or visa requirements. Your full address details should also be omitted, especially if your CV is publicly accessible on job boards to protect your privacy. Instead, just include a general location or city if needed. School and university addresses, as well as examining boards, are usually not necessary either, unless they are directly relevant to the position you're applying for. And minor qualifications that don't relate to the post you're aiming for can be left out to keep your CV focused and concise. By streamlining your CV and leaving out these less relevant details, you help recruiters focus on your skills, experience, and qualifications that truly match the job. This approach aligns with the overall theme of presenting a clear, professional, and targeted application. When it comes to your CV, choosing the right type is absolutely crucial because it shapes how you present your skills, achievements, and ambitions. The goal is to make a strong impression that aligns with the job you're targeting and also fits your personal circumstances. There are two main types of CVs to consider. First, there's the chronological or traditional CV. This format highlights your work history in reverse order, starting with your most recent role. It's great if you have a solid, continuous work record in a specific field. Then there's the skills-based, or functional, CV, which focuses more on your skills and competencies rather than just your job timeline. This approach can be especially useful if you're changing careers or have gaps in your employment history. Understanding which one to use depends on what you want to emphasize and what will resonate best with the employer. Remember, the way you choose to structure your CV can really make a difference in how your profile stands out. Connecting this back to the overall theme, selecting the appropriate format is a strategic decision that can showcase your strengths and help you land that interview. Let's take a closer look at the chronological CV. This type of CV is all about listing your details under clear headings, starting with the most recent experience first. It's a straightforward format that highlights your career progression over time. This format works best if you have experience and skills that are closely aligned with the job you're applying for. It helps demonstrate how you've grown and developed in your field. It's also great if you've had mostly continuous employment, as it shows a steady career path without gaps. However, if you do have gaps in your work history, it's important to explain them. For example, if you took time off to bring up a family, mentioning this reason can help provide context and keep your CV positive and transparent. Overall, the chronological CV is a powerful way to showcase your career journey, especially when your work history supports the role you're aiming for. When it comes to a skills-based or functional CV, the focus shifts away from your employment history and instead highlights your skills and personal qualities. This approach is especially useful if you're changing careers, because it allows you to showcase how your transferable skills from previous roles are relevant to the new position you're aiming for. It's also a great option if you have gaps in your employment history, as these gaps aren't as obvious compared to a traditional chronological CV. Just remember, if you have gaps, be prepared to discuss them confidently during the interview. Additionally, if you've had several short-term roles, whether paid or voluntary, this format helps you group related skills and achievements together. It creates a cohesive picture of what you bring to the table, even if your work history looks varied. Overall, this type of CV allows you to present yourself in a flexible way that really emphasizes your capabilities and how they align with the role you're targeting. Thank you so much for your time and attention today. I really appreciate your engagement throughout this presentation. As we wrap up, I want to remind you of the key points we've discussed and how they connect to the overall theme. It's been about exploring new ideas, embracing change, and working together to achieve our goals. I hope you found this session insightful and inspiring. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions or want to continue the conversation. Thanks again for being here and for your commitment to growth and innovation.